the unrighteous steward. In Luke 16, 1-8, a manager gets caught wasting his master's money, right? He's about to lose everything. So he acts fast, he cuts the debts, he makes deals, and he wins favor with people who can help him later. And somehow his master praises him. That's right. Not for being honest, but for being shrewd. Jesus uses this story to make a bigger point about urgency and preparedness. Are you prepared? Yes. The steward, in his corruption, knew how to respond when the clock was running out. He understood the moment, and Jesus is saying, even a dishonest man can act with that kind of foresight. How much more should believers act with urgency for the sake of eternity? St. Gaudentius saw this story as a mystical light. He said that the steward represents the devil himself, whose rule over the world is ending. And the devil is desperate to keep influence, still works tirelessly and deceive and make allies through false promises. And while his motives are evil, his intention is something Christians could actually learn from. That sense of urgency and purpose. That's right. Because the tragedy isn't that people are passionate and that they waste their passion on the wrong things. And if they want to see the energy redeemed, let's look at St. Paul. How about that? He was once the ultimate enemy of the church, zealous for the wrong cause. But after his conversion, on the road to Damascus, that same fire, that same strategic mind became unstoppable for Christ. In his letter to the Romans, in chapter 15, he says, I have reason to be proud of my work for God, and I will not venture to speak of anything except what Christ has wrought for me. So from that Jerusalem to Iconium, I fully preached the gospel of Christ. Paul was shrewd, as bold and as relentless as the steward, but his goal wasn't self-preservation, it was salvation. So in a way, this parable challenges us to think like that, to use every bit of intelligence, creativity, and urgency we've got, not for our own comfort, but for the kingdom of God. To be clever for good, because the world doesn't need any more lying down saints. He needs